Greetings, residents of Bruderheim. I'd like to take this opportunity to speak on some clarifications of major topics that are of a concern within my community. One of those topics being the zoning of land within the south area of the town of Bruderheim. That was a major topic of concern with residents and with incumbents of the community. It was a major topic that drew incumbent Ron Washuk into the mayoralty race. And one of the outstanding concerns, I believe, was intrusion upon his property. Anyway, I would like to clarify some of the things that was of concern to myself and to the people of this community. What brought this about? What brought the town hall about? What brought the rationale? A lot of that thinking was spearheaded by misinformation. Misinformation that was brought forward as a line of hearsay and of scare tactics. I'm going to use that word scare because people are not receptive to a lot of information unless they have something to talk about. And whether it be the truth or whether it be not, we make decisions on that topic. But anyway, I'm going to elaborate on the zoning. 40 acres of land that was asked by a developer to have the zoning changed to industrial. All he asked for was the zoning to be changed. There was another application for a zoning change of 10 acres. That was asked from R1 to commercial. It was just an ask for rezoning. There was no development permits put out, no development applications put out for anything other than the fact that that land was asked for rezoning or zoning. With that being said, the people were led to believe that there was going to be development there, such as a tire recycling plant, a rail yard. There was no inclination brought or any information brought forward to town council or to the administration department in that matter. Innuendo again. But people got their choice. People got their choice to have the rezoning squashed and brought back to what it is today. Impact? Big impact. A big impact being, ladies and gentlemen, of our community is that now we have developed a matter of mistrust. Mistrust in the development world. Mistrust in people that want to come in and invest in our community. Why? Because of the negativity developed by one or by a few people towards our commercial, industrial, and residential growth. People that want to invest, want to come into a community that's receptive, want to be receptive to new ideas, new planning, new investment. And if we don't show that commitment in our community, we are not going to grow. We have to be a people that look forward. Look at the light of tomorrow. Look at the light of the future. Not for ourselves. We have to look for the future of others that may come into our community. This is not happening. It is not happening with Ron Washuk and his campaign. He wants to have healthy industrial growth, but not in his backyard, somebody else's backyard. That is not right. We have to be receptive to all. Look at other communities. Look at how they've grown. They've grown outward. They've grown inward, being receptive. That is the word, receptive, people. We have to look at the future, not what we have today. And that is my campaign. I am here today to talk about stability, keeping the resources we have today in place, keeping our town healthy, but also looking at the future. This negative impact that was shown in the rezoning will have an everlasting effect. It could take years before we ever see a real big development within our community. What directions do we have to go? Ladies and gentlemen, the direction that we have to go is, what does the people want and what can the outside world give us? With what I have said, I'm going to let you be the judge. You be the judge of what impact has these actions had on our community. Another thing I'm going to address is there been some talk in our community about the heartland. Well, I'm going to go back in history. What has been the crash of our economic development within our community? It has not been the heartland. It was economical changes. That change being going back to the 1940s when the cheese factory was built within Bruderheim. That was a stabilizer for our community. That was the one that brought growth within our community, sustained employment, and sustained businesses. It supported our hardware stores. It supported our grocery stores. It supported our garages. But due to agricultural changes within our community, farmers stopping dairy farming, young people not want to step in, agriculture industry changed. Many of them farmers went either to beef farming or to grain farming. What was the impact on the cheese plant? They could not get fluid milk to keep the production going. So, that being said, they had to import that product. Not economically viable. So, 1974, they shut the plant down. Emptied it out, took all the equipment out, and the property was sold off to a developer. Houses were built there. But it had a great impact on our business world as we see it today. Businesses closed, doors were not reopened. Trades left the town. What does that tell you? It tells you that without a business base or an industrial base within your town, you haven't got that there, small business support. But I'm going to enlighten now on the positive side of the heartland. The positive side of the heartland come about 1975, when Alberta Housing decided that they were going to build a housing development on the west side of town. That was the first step to forward thinking within the heartland. People were given the opportunity to low cost housing and some way to develop our community. All to do with industrial growth within our community. Not only in the heartland, but looking towards the north, to the Fort McMurray. Many people come from out of province. Where did they settle? They settled here in town. Why? Cheap housing and a small community within to raise a family. After the sunset, we had a development to the east, Brookside, early 80s, all spearheaded by the development of the Heartland. Then come the West Woodlands, again spearheaded by the Heartland. People came here to live in our community and work within the Heartland and raise their families. What else did the Heartland do for us? In this community here, many of our projects today would not be alive had it not been for the Heartland donations. Sizable donations. One of them being our skateboard park, the other one being the arena. The park at the school. Ladies and gentlemen, we have to realize that we have to partnership with our community and our outside investors. Be respectful towards them, or we are not going to see any growth. We have to look forward, not being criticized, not going out criticizing. And this is spearheaded by one of our residents. I would like to bring forward to him this message. What you are doing today is crippling tomorrow. Crippling our town for investment, opportunity, longevity. Those are strong words, my ladies and gentlemen, but they are facts. Facts of today, facts of tomorrow, and everlasting facts of everyday life. Anyway, I'm going to go on to another topic. A topic that is spearheaded by none other than Ron Washut and some of his followers. Ladies and gentlemen, cuts. Where do you make cuts? Well, the talk has been, we'll cut staff. Go ahead, cut staff. Where are you going to get the money to pay these people out? It's not pennies, it's dollars and cents. Many dollars and cents. It could cost us hundreds of thousands of dollars. Your tax-paying dollar. Ladies and gentlemen, these people are not looking at that. But the other side of the coin is not just the cuts. What are the impacts? Where do you replace these people? What does it cost for the training of these people? What are the costs to productivity? What is the cost to services? This is not the forward thinking of these people. All they see is how can we save $1 today that they're going to be spending many more dollars tomorrow. I address this with great concern. Again, I believe solely in stability and rational thinking. There is ways to save money, but you do it with forward thinking, logical input, and great communications from all aspects of the town. And I'm going to look at this in another way. A town is a wheel consisting of 4 spokes. Those 4 spokes being residents, administration, public works, and council. If those 4 spokes don't work well together, the wheel don't turn. And the onus is on us as residents to be part of that spoke in the wheel. Speak out, be informed, and make logical decisions. Council cannot make decisions for you without your input. And that leads to tax cuts. That leads to services. What do you want? Do you want a town that looks shabby? Do you want an administration department that it's not functional? A public works that hasn't got equipment to do the services? I'll leave you be the judge of that. I'll leave you make the decision. Ladies and gentlemen, it's all up to you. your decision on voting day. Think about it. I'm going to enlighten you a little bit about receptivity, being receptive. There was an ad or a posting put out on Bruderheim Bulletin, inviting the community to come out and have a face-to-face with all the incumbents of the campaign for mayor and councillor. I being one of the people that are vying for mayor, I thought the invitation was for all. I went to this yesterday, and I did not go empty-handed. I brought donuts and was receptive to sit down and talk with incumbent Ron Owashik. And I was greeted with, "You're not welcome here." I took that as a negative impact. And after thinking about that, I thought to myself on the left, what is this man afraid of? Is he afraid of confrontation? Is he afraid of being able to address concerns in an open environment in front of people? That is a thought that I still haven't got really clear thinking on. But you know something, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to leave you be the judge of that. Was I welcome or was I not welcome? Did I offer friendship? Yes, I did. Did I offer the opportunity for him to have open communication with me? Yes, I did. But Mr. Owashik addressed me with this message: leave, you're not welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, if I'm not welcome, who does he not welcome? Does he not welcome investment, community development, or does he welcome his own agenda? Harsh words, but the truth. Another thing, Mr. Owashik was asked to have a friendly rebuttal in a venue that I would supply by myself, asking all the councillors that are vying for position to attend, and the public. I was flatly turned down. Why? Not open to discussion? Not open to conflict? Or rebuttal? His decision's against mine. You be the judge. You be the judge. You be the person that decides. Now, another topic. Ladies and gentlemen, do you want a council that is forward-thinking? People that are individuals? People led by a well-groomed professional leader? Or do you want somebody that has his own agenda and people that are followers, not forward thinkers? I am going to leave that up to you on voting day. You be the judge. But remember, ladies and gentlemen, your decision today could have a great impact on what happens tomorrow, what happens in the future, and what you get for your dollar that you may have not spent, but you're going to spend tomorrow. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to close. Win, lose, or draw, I will always be committed to this community. I have been for the past almost 60 years. I will carry on today and tomorrow until the end of my time. This is my community. I love it, and I love the people that's in it. Ladies and gentlemen, I have served on many of the boards. I have seen new developments. I have seen many projects in this town that have come to fruition. But it didn't happen just by council alone. They happened by the residents of this community looking forward, being committed, and doing the right thing. Remember, ladies and gentlemen of this community, on voting day, it is you that will make the commitment to tomorrow. With that, best wishes to all, and we'll see you on voting day. And remember, I'm always open to discussion. I'm always open to sit down and talk with any one of you on any topic. And whether I'm on council next term or not, if I have a concern or if I hear of a concern, I will still bring it forward to administration on your behalf. Good luck. Have a great fall and happy Thanksgiving. Sign off, George Campbell.